Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. So I have quite an old video on my channel where I took my rats' paw prints and painted them myself, but today I wanted to give my rats more creative freedom. So over the years I've seen a few people do this and I've always really wanted to try it. So today is the day that I let my rats make their own art with their paw prints. So to start with, I'm going to talk you through some of the supplies I'm using to do this. So at the front we just have some plain paper that I'm going to be using to line the area that I'm going to do this in and to also put the paint on. And then at the back we have an art canvas I picked up which I thought would be really cute for them to put their paw prints on. Now the most important thing we have here are these paints. These are non-toxic washable paints, but the most important part about that is the non-toxic part. These are aimed at children, so they're meant to be perfectly safe should children decide to eat them or something, so in theory they are perfectly safe to use with your rats. So if you are still worried about using these types of paints with your rats, you can just use coloured food dye, which is perfectly safe for them, but I just chose not to do that because I didn't think it would have the same effect on the canvas, so today we're just going to try these paints. And the last thing I'm using are these non-scented baby wipes. I'm just going to be using these afterwards to clean their feet and anywhere that the paint has got onto, just to be safe. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out. It could end up being really ugly, but I guess it's kind of like when your kids draw you a picture and it's kind of questionable, but you still put it on the fridge anyway because you're really proud of them. So I don't really care how this turns out. Art is subjective anyway, so if it looks like a massive blob on the canvas, I really don't care. So I guess it's kind of going to be like a collaborative piece between all four of my rats, so I've assigned them each a different coloured paint so we know who's done what. So starting from the left, I think Sunday's going to have the pink, Sprout is going to be green, Badger's going to be blue, and Moose is going to be that like purpley pink. So I apologise if it's echoey, but welcome to my bathtub. This is where their masterpieces are going to be made. So the reason I'm doing it in a bathtub is because it's self-contained, they can't get the paint anywhere else, and in theory the paints are washable, so once we're done I should just be able to wash them away. I mean, I'm hoping they just wash away, but we'll see. So what I'm doing now is just laying down plain white paper. One, because I don't really enjoy the surface of the bathtub. It's quite slippery and can be quite scary, so hopefully the paper solves that problem. And also to act as a surface just to put the paint on and just to make it a bit easier for me to pick all the paper up and clean it up at the end. So I also have some sheets of like proper art paper that I'm going to put in there just to collect any extra paw prints, and it might make something cute on this paper as well. And then I've got the canvas, which I'm just going to put somewhere in the middle. So I think I'm going to start with Sprout because he's the one that's the most awake right now, and I'm just going to place the paint on the paper for him to step in. So when I ordered this paint, I didn't realise it was going to be neon, so that's kind of ugly, but we're just going to have to carry on. So even though this paint is technically non-toxic, I really don't want them licking it or ingesting any of it. So to get them to walk through the paint and over the paper, I'm going to be kind of guiding them with a treat just to distract them away from the actual paint itself, and then once they're done I'm just going to clean them up. Are you pooping? You better not be having a poop. Ah! No! Sprout! Okay, so next I'm going to do Sunday. So next is Badger, and he's partially white, so I'm really not looking forward to having to clean him after this. So lastly we have Moose, and I left him until last because he really doesn't like new things and things that he's never done before, so I'm not too sure how this is going to go. So this is the finished result. I think if I saw this in an art gallery, I'd probably give it a 2 out of 10. But considering my rats made this, I'm going to have to give them a solid 9 out of 10. They lose a few marks considering the paint is so neon and ugly and kind of blinding, but that's also kind of my fault for picking this paint. So I think if I were to do this again, I'd definitely get some different paints that are a bit less ugly, and I'd kind of get them to do a little bit less on the actual canvas because less is more, and this kind of has some like butt and tail splotches on it, so I'd definitely try and get it to look a little bit neater next time. So I actually like how it turned out on the art paper a lot more than the canvas, so maybe next time I'll do it on art paper instead and get it framed or something. But on the paper you can actually really see where their paw prints are, so I think this one turned out really nice. So I'm actually going to be dividing this up and sending it to all of my $10 Patreons. Each month I send them a handwritten letter for me, so I thought it'd be really cute to include some artwork for my rats as well. So yeah, that is it for my video today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed seeing something a bit more fun. I'd really like to see if you try this with your rats, but please just remember to use either non-toxic paint or food colouring just to make sure it's safe. Also make sure you are subscribed to see any future animal related videos from us, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye!